This is Coffee with God, and let us begin this day with the Word of God.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke, chapter 9, verses 57 to 62. The passage is taken from the Message version of the Bible. On the road, someone asked if he could go along. "I'll go with you wherever," he said. Jesus was curt. "Are you ready to rough it? We're not staying in the best inns, you know." Jesus said to another, "Follow me." He said, "Certainly, but first excuse me for a couple of days, please. I have to make arrangements for my father's funeral." Jesus refused. "First things first, your business is life, not death, and life is urgent. Announce God's kingdom." Then another said, "I'm ready to follow you, Master, but first excuse me while I get things straightened out at home." Jesus said, "No procrastination, no backward looks. You can't put God's kingdom off till tomorrow. Seize the day." The Gospel of the Lord.
Let us now listen to a reflection on this passage by a Claretian missionary, Father Francisco Carin. We celebrate today the feast of Francis of Assisi, a saint who changed the course of history during his time and has continued to serve as an inspiration to us due to the example of his life that he left behind for us to follow. In today's readings, we are given a better understanding of what his life was like. The state of mind that Nehemiah was in as he sat before the face of the king during the battle fits perfectly the experience of Francis who was sick and in captivity after the battle against Perugia. Francis was born in the town of Assisi in the year 1181, approximately 80 miles from Rome. Francis aspired to be a knight. He was called to war at the age of 19 to defend Assisi from the neighbouring town of Perugia. He was captured and put in prison. While in prison, he became quite sick. This long illness caused him to think about his life. It was this deep experience of a life languishing without a purpose that set Francis on a quest for a worthy life. Inspired by God, both Nehemiah and Francis embarked on a journey of reconstruction. Jerusalem for Nehemiah was the church for Francis. The challenge that God had placed in front of their lives could not be fulfilled in any other way from singing and weeping upon the rivers of Babylon, remembering Zion. Bringing the people together, Prophet Nehemiah brought hope to Israel and made Zion a worthy maid once more for God. On the other hand, Francis, who had accumulated a great deal of treasure of his merchant life, went forth to proclaim such a great joy to all nations, having God as his sole inheritance. This is the essence of today's gospel. Candidates for discipleship are invited to leave behind any plans they have had, no matter how important they may have seemed in their eyes, or even in the eyes of their family, friends, or acquaintances. In the gospel, there was a strong disposition to follow Jesus in all the candidates, in all the disciples. Nevertheless, each of them included a but in their commitment. Are we willing to say yes to God's call without any but in our commitment? Yes, it is difficult, but Francis of Assisi, among many others, believes it is possible and worthy.